Hello, this is Chris Frostad, President and CEO of Purepoint Uranium, and today we're providing a look at our Umfreville project, located in northern Saskatchewan's Athabasca Basin. Umfreville is a project we've surveyed and evaluated for some time now. However, so far we have not carried out any drill programs there. We intend to change that this year. All of Purepoint's projects are located in the world's richest uranium-bearing region, the Athabasca Basin, host to 100% of Canada's uranium production and the highest uranium grades found anywhere. Our 12 projects, seen here in orange, are strategically located across the province, with some located directly on trend and adjacent to world-class Tier 1 mines. Most of these projects are now ready for drilling. The Umfreville project sits on the northern edge of the Athabasca Basin, just east of Black Lake. The first thing you'll notice about the project is that it appears to sit outside of the traditional eastern mine trend that runs up the side of the basin. That mine trend sits along the transition zone between two major geological domains, the Mujaddick and the Wollaston. Taking a macro view of the area, you can see those domains here in the background, the Mujaddick in pink and the Wollaston to the right of it in light brown. Umfreville sits on the opposite side of the Mujaddick domain and may be influenced by a major structural belt known as the Snowbird Tectonic Zone. This structural zone stretches 2,800 kilometers or 1,700 miles from Alberta northeast to Hudson Bay. As you can see, the Snowbird Tectonic Zone cuts through the middle of the basin and can provide a challenge to exploration due to the variable depths to basement, up to 1 kilometer, that can be seen in green contours. This does not, however, mean that it isn't prospective. At the southern end of the basin, the Centennial uranium deposit owned by Cameco and Orano lies within the Snowbird Belt. The deposit is large and has been drilled extensively, measuring on plan approximately 350 meters by 800 meters. Although the partners have not yet released a resource estimate, some of the better holes include 34 meters at 8.8% U3O8 and 28.7 meters at 10.27% U3O8. Looking more closely at Umfreville, it sits at the edge of the Athabasca Basin, which means it will provide shallower drill targets. From an exploration standpoint, the Umfreville area holds great potential, having never been drilled with the exception of 3 holes to the north, drilled over 40 years ago by SMDC. In this case, they were testing resistivity lows that they had identified. However, the holes presented a few low-level radiometric spikes and not much else. In preparing the project, Purepoint has carried out a number of surveys, including this one showing the magnetics in the area, the pink most likely representing granite, and the blue, softer sediments, where mineralization is generally found. Of specific note is the extensive Fond du Lac fault that runs up the center of the project. In the middle, you can see where it splays in an I shape within the magnetic zone response. Also of interest are the numerous cross-cutting faults that provide the structural complexity typically identified with uranium deposits in the basin. Another survey carried out by Purepoint was soil sampling that was systematically conducted across the project. In the center, you can see where we found high-level uranium and soil anomalies coincident with the junctures of Fond du Lac fault splays. Purepoint also flew an airborne gravity survey over the project, which can be seen here. The pink color represents gravity highs, while the blues represent gravity lows. As we've seen in other parts of the basin, the gravity highs tend not to represent favorable rock types, while the gravity lows and the yellow transition zones coincide with favorable rocks and alteration that host some of our best mineralization. All of this evidence leads us to a very specific area within the project, which will be the location of our initial drilling. Until then, we continue advancing our portfolio of projects and targets all across northern Saskatchewan.